Okay, we're live. FYI.
Nice. Yep.
I'm going to look to see over here because I can't see. I'm blocked by StreamYard. Is there anywhere? Oh, yeah, it's going to cause feedback.
I'm going to look to see over here because I can't see. I'm blocked by StreamYard. Is there anywhere?
That's going to cause feedback.
Well, then just kick me out. I'll just mod.
Okay, I can fix that. I'll just wear headset.
Oh, is it because it's coming through my speaker?
There we go.
Nice.
If one of us is in a headset, we don't have the circular feedback anyway.
Oh, that's the issue. Okay. I need to get some headsets for this. I need to try that because I've had people live with me before, but it didn't cause. Sometimes it would cause it, sometimes it didn't. I didn't know why.
It depends on what kind of microphone they're using. The people that you are going live with were using their phone. I'm not. I'm using this mic. So
Yeah,
we
so
both
am
have.
I.
That's why.
Yeah.
We're both
It's a
using the
room mic.
snowball. Hi, Dee Dee. Hi, Craig. Hi, Debbie. Kindness matters.
Let me log in so I can see the chat. Let me log in. There we go. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
I updated mine while we were sitting here. So.
Is that.
And I found the notebook that Dee Dee gave me for my birthday, and I've misplaced it for, I don't know, 5 months. I found it yesterday.
That's so cool. My week is busy, so I'm going to be out of the house a lot of the days. I have a PET scan on Tuesday, and if that turns out negative, I'm going to dye my hair purple.
Nice. Wait a minute. I'm going to be looking for some purple hair then.
Welcome, Kindness Matters. Hello, Ivy. Good information to have. Everybody got their planners and they're going to plan out their week, right? That's what we're going to do. And just for fun, I was on social media this past week. Thank you, Debbie. I'm hoping for purple too. I already ordered it, so I'm going to be positive about it. So I'm going to be out of town because, oops, where am I? I have my PET scan in the middle of the afternoon, and I should have covered up the address. So I'll do that now. And so I'm just going to do the top 3 things that I want to get done this week because I have my PET on Tuesday, and then I have to drive to Miami to my ocular oncologist on Wednesday, go to my ocular oncologist on Thursday, and drive home. So it's a busy week. And while I was in Miami, I was supposed to pick up my Louis Vuitton that's in there for repair, but I've looked and it's still in assessment phase.
It never will be repaired phase?
Yeah.
How long has it been there?
Sitting there. I don't remember. Beginning of May? She said it would take 6 weeks. No, it was in April. It was in April.
6 weeks for them
Beginning
to
of
mail
April.
it to the warehouse, apparently. Yeah.
Well, because of Craig's video on the Reed Karkoff bags, I bought a Reed Karkoff bag. I did. I didn't know how to shop for them. I didn't even know, what they were, but
Yay!
I went on and looked and I was like, oh, no, okay, now I can tell the difference between the reed bags and not that I
Cold
knew there was a
version.
difference,
Uh-huh.
but yeah, I got, how much it was? I'll do an unboxing for it. I don't like to do unboxings, but I'll do an unboxing for that one. And send people over to his video too, even though I'm tiny. But it was $33
Where did you find that?
on the eBays.
I was looking on eBay. Oh my gosh, 30. Did you just say $33?
33.
Oh my gosh. I didn't see that one because man, I was looking. I was looking. I'm always looking. That's my problem.
I started a sentence last week and said that one of the things that I had accomplished since starting to do my planner was actually drinking my water. I keep myself dehydrated if I don't keep track of it. I've learned that about
Oh, yeah.
myself.
I'm bad about that too.
I'm constantly
Yeah.
dehydrated. Hi, Brianna. Did I say that already? I feel like I'm repeating myself here, but it doesn't matter. Say hi again. Okay. It's so busy that I'm not going to make a bunch of lists. So I'm just going to do top 3 for the week of things that I need to get done. And that's just mainly going to be, laundry, water plants, simple things. Because I'm going to be driving all over Hell's Half Acre.
How long does it take you to get down to Miami?
5 hours.
5?
I'm closer to Gainesville.
So
Yeah.
do you do a drive down and overnight and then drive back?
Yeah.
Okay. Because that is a long drive.
It is. And this is all right. So I didn't plan anything today except for that I'm going to put in my planner some words of advice that I got off the internet because somebody said, "Tell us the best advice that you ever heard," and people started adding it. And I'm not going to write it directly in my planner because it seems to be like when I do the lives, I'm trying to write around the microphone and stuff, and I make a sloppy mess, and nobody wants a sloppy mess. Dee Dee, tell us. Didn't you used to have a sticker shop? I should wait and ask you that when you come on live. Oh,
Craig
your doctors
says,
come to you. Your doctors come to you, Craig? That's nice. Yeah, I don't think my ocular oncology office is so busy. That's not happening.
that's funny
Oh.
that they put you on a no travel, so they have to travel to you.
So I'm just putting a post-it note in here. I'm going to write these sayings in later in a neater handwriting. We'll pick which ones are the best here. Okay, see, I can't see what I'm doing around this. Anyway. So Dee Dee, you'll have to teach us how to plan if you've been into planners all this time. Oh, you buy a lot of stickers. I thought you used to have a shop. Well, the first thing that I want to write is if you plan nothing. What's the rest of it? Nothing will happen. What do you think? So what bag do you think that you have for like a whole great big recovery?
Oh, it was only an outside recovery. It wasn't an inside and outside. So maybe I'll have to find another one. That one's coming in the mail. I just bought it today off Poshmark, and it is a Florentine hobo Dooney and Burke, and basically the exterior, it looks distressed. It's not supposed to look that way. but the
Oh,
interior is like pristine. So I feel like I asked her, like, what happened to this bag? And she's like, oh, I thought it was supposed to look like this. Like, no, ma'am. So, yeah. So Jolie and I are gonna do eventually we're gonna do a clean with us project, and we're gonna rehab a bag.
and they're
So
going to be,
I'm looking for the perfect beat up bag to rehab.
yeah, we're looking for really beat up bags. I've got one. Okay, let's do one more saying here. Nobody will know what size clothes you're wearing. They only know if you wear the wrong size.
That one's good. That
Yes.
was a good one.
Nobody will know. Will give me the rest of it to write in later. Okay, I'm having a read. I ran off next month. This month is Henry Bendel. They go out on Friday. Cool.
Yeah, I keep looking for the right Harry Bendel bag to buy, but I haven't found one I love. They still tend to be priced pretty high. People have a fondness for that company.
Yeah. I have never owned anything from that company. I knew about them, but I never had bought anything from there. I guess Frozen used to work there, Saya.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me who said this. Imperfection is beauty, madness is genius, and it's better to be absolutely ridiculous than absolutely boring.
I don't know, but it sounds something like Greta Garbo would say.
It does. Anybody in the chat know who said that? Who's famous? Who's a famous person? I'll give you a hint. She's blonde.
Calamity Jane. Who was the actress who did that? Doris Day.
No.
No?
Okay, let me add blonde bombshell.
Oh gosh, not Marilyn.
Yeah,
Marilyn?
that's a Marilyn quote.
Marilyn was very intelligent. She got under people just saw her as a blonde bombshell, but she was very smart.
Yeah.
I think there was another one. I think it's Vivian Lee with another really smart, intelligent woman.
Hedy
Only known
Lamarr.
for beauty. Oh, Hedy Lamarr. Yeah.
Hedy Lamarr. If not for her, we wouldn't have Bluetooth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, here's another one.
Mm.
Do things when you can. Don't wait until you have to. Holds true for everything from a bathroom stop to estate planning.
That's good. I have no idea who has said that, but I like that.
Yeah, I don't know who said it either. I'm just going to read the rest of them, but I am going to add some of these into my planner. I was having fun looking them up. Let the book of life be written in your own hand.
Read Craig's statement or comment, Jolie.
Kind of like Jessica Simpson, she let them laugh her all the way to the bank with her $1 billion comp. Yeah, another one.
It's not even her music, her clothing company banking the dollars.
Oh, that reminds me. Yeah, I used to have some Jessica Simpson clothes at some point. I think they were in like the malls. I don't remember. Maybe Penny's covered her, sold her clothes. I don't remember.
She was at Penny's. I don't know where she is now, but I always look at her stuff. All of her bags are vegan leather, though, so I haven't really been. But she loves high heels. That girl, and most of her clothing empire is run by her mom. Apparently, her mother wanted to be in fashion, and that was just an offshoot they did, and it's still successful.
Here's a good one for a lot of us in here. Time will pass whether you attempt the thing or not. Go ahead and try.
Say that again?
Time will pass whether you attempt a thing or not. Go ahead and try.
Just try. Just do it. Just try it. It's never going to be perfect. It's never going to be the right time. That's what told me about having kids, but I disagreed with everybody. I says I still have to have money and time to take care of a child. But they say if you
Yes,
wait for money and time to have children, you'll never
you'll
have
never have
children, which I also
children.
agree with.
Yeah, it's so true.
Mhm.
Never apologize at work. Reframe it to thank you for your patience. What do you think, Jackie?
Say that one more time. Thank you. I just
Ne-
heard thank you for your patience.
Never apologize at work. Reframe that and say thank you for your patience.
That's hard.
Yeah,
I've had, as a woman, that is really hard. We're
I know
conditioned to apologize for things
we
that
are.
we're not responsible for,
And
you
we
know?
like to start sentences with, I'm sorry, but, and we
That's
shouldn't.
that's a great that's a great idea because like if you walk into a meeting, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm late. Don't. All you're doing is pointing out that you're late. What you're saying, what you should say is, if you're coming in and just sit down, don't say anything. You
I'm
know,
just going to change. Let me see if I can just, there,
Jackie,
we're a
that should
little
be my
bigger.
mantra.
Yeah. You don't have to be motivated to do it. You just have to do it. That's another good saying.
Yes.
People are waiting for motivation. Yeah, that never happens.
Never, never. Because I mean, I'm that way when it comes to stitching because tension is a huge deal when you're doing
Yes.
handcrafts. So that matters. But in general, you just have to try it. Just try cooking. Try
Yes.
if you don't know how to cook, try. Read a book, watch a YouTube, cook something. I told my friends and family, you have no idea how many horrible meals I have cooked in my lifetime. I can cook well now because you didn't see the disasters beforehand. Nobody
Right.
knows how to cook just because they know how to cook. They all learned how to do it. That's with any skill.
Like, or when just before I had my baby, you know how you go through nesting. Um, it's, you know, and I had a sewing machine and I made the curtains, the bumpers, everything for that bed. And now I don't remember. I have a sewing machine. I don't even remember how to put the string through. I know I'll figure it out, put the thread through. I know I'll figure it out if I sit down to do something, but if you don't do it, I mean, you just lose it.
Yeah, it's a skill.
Yeah. If you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got.
That's true. Nothing changes if you keep doing the same old thing. Um, that was
Craig said, I can't stand when women apologize. Don't ever apologize for anything ever. You all literally create the world. Well, that's true.
Kindness Matters has a quote. She says, it's from Walt Disney. It's kind of fun to do the impossible.
It is.
I mean, he had the
Okay.
whole Imagineers, I think they called them.
Imagineers, yes.
Yeah, Imagineers. Yeah. Oh, I think I told you, but I bought some more Harvey. But I know I didn't tell you. I bought yesterday. I bought these yesterday. So, I was doing this family get together thing, which I didn't want to be at, and I was sitting there and I was looking at my order and I showed James on my phone, says, do you agree? And he was like anything because I was doing something I didn't want to do the entire week. I was like, how can I get out of this family get together? I don't want to be here. And I just had to grin and bear it. And I was there just for my husband because I'm like, I'm supporting him. It'll be better. It'll be fine. And I pushed order. So I have some bags coming from California.
Cool. Luxational, I like your comment. I'm not going to read it out loud, but here, let's see. Let's do men. Let's bash men for a second here. It takes a really good man to be better than no man. It's true.
If you're the only one in the room.
Yeah, but he knows it's true too. And it's better to be alone than to wish you were.
Oh, yeah. Maybe
Uh-huh.
because you're not alone and you wish you were alone, you're just gonna make the person you're with miserable, to be honest.
This is a note for older women that somebody put up. The weight you gain living your life, living the life you love, is the weight that you're supposed to be.
Yep. I used to apologize all the time for my weight. I don't do that anymore. It's like, this is who I am. If you don't like it, that's
Mm.
fine.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like, you
Well,
don't have to
if
share,
you
we
don't
don't have to
like
be
it,
friends. It's okay.
even more than that, it's your problem, right?
Yeah. It's like, I don't know why my weight is bothering you, but apparently sometimes that bothers people, you know?
I'm
And
only
I,
going to
I don't
do
mind it
one
if
more.
people say, "Oh, I want you just to be healthy." Like, I've met plenty skinny people who are not healthy. I mean, I'm not the pinnacle of health. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying, don't judge. You know?
Yeah. It was never the healthier, bigger people that when I worked in the OR came in with all the diseases. Some of the most beautiful women I worked on, we had extra precautions on. Okay. You can lock up from a thief, but you can't lock up from a liar. Avoid them. If he'll lie about one thing, he'll lie about anything.
True.
All right, enough quotes. Does anybody have any quotes in the chat that like something that your mother or your grandmother or your grandfather told you that you live by? That's called marriage.
That one's hard.
I get told and laughed at because he's sick of apologizing to me for things he's doing. Yeah, then don't do them. Exactly.
My grandparents were kind of not the talkative type. They were very reserved people, and my grandmother really, unfortunately, pushed the uh, be quiet, and as long as you're doing an activity quietly, it was okay. So
Be
don't be,
be seen and
yeah,
not heard.
yeah.
Yeah, well, that
So
was
that was,
you're part of Gen
yeah,
X, aren't you? That was
yeah.
still the philosophy when we were kids.
It's like
You were
it's
to be
like
seen and not heard.
Yeah, there was like you're in the back room, you're reading a book, you're cleaning, you're cooking, you're knitting, you're sewing. This is why I do all these things now because I was told to sit down idly doing nothing was not an option. You know, you had to do something. So as long as I had something in my hands, whether it was a book or stitching, I was doing something that was deemed appropriately ladylike. And like I
Right.
couldn't be a boy, like I couldn't be a kid. And like my grandparents raised my father. He was a wild child. That kid went hunting in the woods when he was 8. You know, he wasn't home at all. But we as girls had to sit quietly. It was not fun.
That
You know,
was always a
let's be
thing.
fair. My grandmother was born in 1908. This woman
Yeah.
died in 2007. So she's old school. That's old school can get. You know.
Mine were quite old too. And
Hmm.
luckily, when I was very young, before 1976, when I was 9 years old, we lived in Indiana, and everybody had Victorian houses, and they had hidden passageways, and you know, on the farms they built these large Victorians. And I come from my father's side of the family farmers, and it, directly from the 1500s, I think probably during the rule of one of the Georges, when all of the English escaped. Um, so we all had great big farmhouses with octagon rooms and a big lookout thing on top. And there was always an extra room where they would just let all the kids just have at it. But we were locked away. And you weren't allowed to go tell on each other either. If you were fighting with a sibling, I lost both of my front teeth one time. One of my cousins wasn't allowed to tattle. I just come in with my teeth. Who did that? Well, Rick did it, but here's my teeth.
That's terrifying. Wasn't
Yeah.
that painful? Could they put them back in? Because sometimes they can do that.
No, they were gonna. I was like 6. They were coming out anyway.
Oh, baby
They were my baby
Yeah.
teeth.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we had gone outside, and the first one I lost, he pushed me out of a cherry tree. And then the second one I lost because he had. This is going to sound. Look, it was the early 70s. He had what we called a peace pipe. They had just gone out west or somewhere, and he had like an Indian headdress and a peace pipe and all this, but it was really a whistle because it wasn't but it looked like the tobacco pipes, the old tobacco pipes, and I had put it in my mouth, and he jerked it out with and took my tooth with it. So
Oh, there is
it
that
was a
one
fun
time I
weekend.
broke Jen's fingers, but that was an accident.
But
Poor
my
Jen.
dad's mom raised 4 boys, and then she was a doll maker, and she used to have thousands and thousands of dolls and collected dolls. But when my grandfather died when I was 4, and she remarried, and he took all her dolls when she died, and without letting the family know, and just garage sale them. And so I only have one left, and it's got its hands are broken. But she made this one. She used to paint them too. This is just
Porcelain?
a little dollhouse doll. She used to make full size, big porcelain dolls, but this is really old. But you can see there. Can you try to see its
That's
face?
really good paint job. I love doing
Yeah.
miniatures. I used to do a lot of painting of miniatures. Never the doll babies, because I get creeped out.
But it's a
You know,
fully hinged. It's a fully hinged body, but its little feet and our hands were broken off years ago. But see, it's stringed together. There's its butt, and see, it's a full porcelain doll. Well, if I can get it
it's
under the
cool.
camera.
So she did the segmenting on in the interior. That's actually hard to do. You have all the pieces, and then you have there's like
She made the pieces
you can
too.
either
She made them in
string
a
or
kiln.
yeah, you can, and then you have to string the interior to make them articulate. And later on in the time went on, people used rubber. Unfortunately, that would break down, and the baby dolls would lose their limbs and stuff. But yeah, it was actually a thing. A lot of people collected and made baby dolls and did molds, and it's still actually a thing. People still do this, but now out of silicone. They make full
Yes.
silicone babies. There's a whole subsection of
Oh
people
yeah.
who just collect babies, little
Yeah.
silicone doll babies.
They make like the real babies. They're like
Yeah.
they're weighted and floppy, and yes.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the silicone feels like, and they do that. A lot of women collect them just because they're adorable. Some women collect them because they've lost children and it's the coping mechanism. But some people just like them. I am a little scared of them because they're doll
Yeah.
babies that look exactly like babies.
I know why she got into dolls. Her second child was a girl, and her name was Judy, and she had some sort of intestinal obstruction when she was a baby, and this was in the 1940s. And she told me this, so I'm just going to tell you what she told me. They did the surgery on the baby, but they believed, she told me, they believed then that babies didn't have a fully developed nervous system and didn't need any anesthesia. And
What?
she died in surgery. Yeah. It's like
What decade was this?
1944, 19 around in the early 40s. Exactly.
No. Oh,
Yeah. So anyway, not only did the baby pass in a way that caused her pain. So I think that's where she threw herself into
baby dolls.
that, into
Yeah.
baby dolls. I've been thinking about all of the females in my past and like, you know, how they were all like my mom's a clothing hoarder. And I
Oh,
know
really?
why she is. I know why she is because her dad died of polio when she was 5. So my grandmother was a single mom. She raised them, 3 girls, and she made every stitch of clothing that they wore. Now, even though they were all voted best dress every year in school and they had some really nice clothes, I've seen pictures, everything is absolutely beautiful. I think that they all craved like store-bought clothes. Well, until they bought some and realized they don't last.
Well, it's interesting because my mom, when we were babies, and I was born in '79, it was children's clothing was expensive. It's not like the way it is today, where children's clothing is like you can get stuff for $3 on sale. That
Yeah,
wasn't what it was like in '79. So my mom made all of our clothes. It was cheaper to buy cloth and stitch your own clothes. And my mom was a seamstress. I mean, she loved fashion. She loved design. I have baby photos someplace of us in clothes she made, matching clothes because we're twins, right?
right.
And then it flipped. That skill went away. People didn't want to. They didn't want to. Wearing homemade clothes was, oh, you can't afford store-bought clothes. It was kind of like looked down on. And now we've flipped over to, oh my gosh, you have custom-made, tailored fit clothes. That's so cool.
It
Not
is.
when I was a kid. Not when I was a kid.
That's
Now
true.
it's like, oh my gosh, your family knows how to make your Halloween costumes. Like when I was a kid, homemade Halloween costumes were frowned on, even if they were awesome. It didn't matter if they were awesome. It mattered that you had the same plastic Shira outfit that everybody else had. You know?
Right. My favorite part of when my mom's mom would come to visit is because we had a sewing machine too, is I could take her to the store, show her the clothes that I wanted, and she would go, okay. And then we'd go to the fabric store and she could make it and it would be better. So,
Yeah.
I mean, because a generation out, when you're not forced to wear all the homemade clothes, you're like, I want the homemade clothes. Those would last until you outgrew them, you know?
Well, but now in this, it's interesting because I talked to my mom about this because she actually made her own ball gowns because she was married to a diplomat. They always had to go to all these functions. You can't really wear the same outfit. Um,
No.
and she always would go to Thailand. She would buy um silk. She would make a ball gown. She would repurpose that same ball gown to make a day dress because you know she could do that, right? And she was so good at it. She did custom orders wherever they went because people would see her gowns and like, where did you buy that? Because I made it. And they're like, can I custom order one? And then she would. So that was her side job, going to meeting all these ambassador wives and you
Yes.
know consulate wives and whomever she was talking to. And it was so interesting because I was with her. This is in the '90s, and we were in Lithuania, and we would go get linen. So linen is a normal natural textile that they grow and they produce in Lithuania. It's a
Oh,
national type of
good.
heritage thing. So we could buy it by the meters for cheap. Like
Oh,
I've
I
never
wish we could
seen.
hear.
Yeah, you
I
can't hear,
love,
but there. I mean, so my mom bought dining room table length, like dining room table that fits like 12 people to 15
yeah.
people. And she sat down and I watched her make, and watching her cutting the fabric to do an oblong oval sounds easy, not easy. She still has those 30 years later, she still has all of those tablecloths.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and because linen is
I
one of
used to
those
go
things that just
antiquing.
get
I used
better
to
with
go antiquing for
age.
old cloth because it just lasts and lasts for decorative cloth.
Hmm.
But most of my button downs are linen. You pay a lot more for them, but they last, and I have so I just started buying just linen. That's why I like Ralph Lauren. I buy
Well,
Ralph
you
Lauren linen
also live
shirts.
in the hottest place ever with humidity.
Yeah, it's 99 today.
Like, $99?
And it's June, and that's not our hot month. So, and we moved a bit north. Yeah, Florida used to be subtropical, but I think from Central Florida south, it's actually starting to be turned tropical now. Of course, we can't grow citrus anymore for sure. That's done. We're
Say,
too
Jolie,
tropical.
Jolie, you have a question. Kindness Matters is asking, Jolie, are you a nurse?
I am a nurse. I'm not working right now. And I don't know, I'm an operating room nurse, and I don't know if I'm ever going to go back to the operating room. I can't trust myself because I'm blind in my left eye now. Where are you, Angela?
Could you do a different type of nursing if you wanted to?
Yes, I could do floor nursing, but I don't want to.
It's tough. It's tough.
Well, no, they have reduced nursing to on the floors to quick patient evals, dole out drugs, and then they give you so many patients that that's all you have the time to do. And
It's not why you became a nurse to dispense medication.
No. Well, I'm used to my patients being asleep and naked.
As operators, yes. OR.
The only time you really have to talk to him is during the interview process, find out whether or not I had this one guy. So he was just a doo-doo head. Anyway, I was listening behind a curtain while I was talking to another patient while he was being interviewed. And because pre-op interviews the patient just to make sure, anesthesia interviews the patient, and the OR nurse is the last one. And I ask the questions last. And then sometimes I can tell by the way they answer the question that they're lying. So anyway, this guy was just, I'll explain. Okay. So every time they would get to, did you have anything to eat or drink, in the last 8 hours? He would be like, why do people keep asking me that? Just instead of just saying yes or no. Well, so I was like, oh, okay, he's one of these. But I was only half listening because I was still dealing with another patient and, not. But I was like, well, that's weird. So anyway, and he was like, let's just say he didn't care about cussing in public, and he was just, I don't want to use the term, but he was a WT like me. So I recognized it. So I go over to him to do my interview, which is all about, and that question comes up. Have you had anything to eat or drink? Why does everybody keep asking me that? And I said, well, because if you did, you'll probably die.
Mm-hmm.
He said, what? I said, it's called aspirational pneumonia. If we paralyze your entire body and stick a tube down your throat and you have a full stomach, it's all going to regurgitate. You can't stop it. And a lot of times it goes down into your lungs. That causes aspirational pneumonia, end up in the ICU. And a lot of people can't survive that. And he goes, I had a Denny's Grand Slam on the way in.
Oh, sweet Jesus. Okay,
we're canceling your surgery. Thank you for being honest. But he had already made it through anesthesia and pre-op before that. So sometimes it's better just to be real with people.
Yeah, because I thought people knew this, but
no.
Let's see, my eldest sister's a nurse, and her husband her first husband was a surgeon. And unfortunately, I've been through more surgeries than I can remember and care about. But I had asked my doctor, like, why is it important that if I drink anything or eat anything after 8 p.m. or midnight on the day before, whatever? And they told me about what happens with anesthesiologists. This is why their malpractice insurance is out through the roof, because you can do all the right things, ask all the right questions, and people still have issues. Like, it's not like like I think when Jacob was saying that Joan Rivers went for a routine type of cosmetic surgery thing, and that's how she ended up losing her life,
She
was,
did. Yeah.
yeah, because of a situation that should have been a routine thing. I've heard this. I am that person that I thought at one point in my life I'd get a breast reduction if I later in life. I'm at the point now that unless I am dying, I am not going to surgery. It
Right.
took me a
It's
year of
very, very invasive. I
oh,
had a patient who was complaining about the pre-op chest x-ray. I told him to make sure he wakes up from anesthesia. He stopped complaining. Yes. 91 degrees. Where are you, D? I thought you were in Florida too, somewhere. Rael is lucky over there, but actually 72 is a little too cool for me. I need my winter clothes for that. Okay.
right. Me too. People look at me like I'm crazy. It's 72 out. My husband's in shorts and t-shirt, and I have a sweater on.
Yeah, I was trying to get together shorts and t-shirts, to wear for hiking all over Hever Castle and Hampton Court and on the cliffs of Dover, and then I looked up the average temperature, and I was like, oh shit, we need winter clothes. We have to pack winter clothes.
See,
Okay. Yeah, the I don't trust myself around a sterile field anymore. Um, I'm just too afraid that I'll bump into it. And plus, the OR is full of tripping hazards. Um, and I trip and run into walls now, so I don't trust myself in an OR anymore. If I was scrubbed in like I used to, if I was a surgical tech for 17 years, I scrubbed trauma, vascular, all that stuff. But my favorite cases to do were, of course, a total knee. That was my favorite case of all time. And I liked to do them fast. So,
total knee replacement?
yes, that's my favorite case to do. When I was a surgical technologist, as a nurse, it's fine too. But I could scrub in. That would be easier actually, except I would run into the doctor.
Yeah,
Excuse
when
me.
you have
Excuse me.
literally have a
Excuse
blind
me.
side.
Yes.
But if you're with a good team, but that's a problem. You'd have to find a good team to work with, that could
Yeah.
know which is your blind side. Mhm.
But it doesn't matter. The patient is the number one most important thing, and
Yes.
I'm a stickler for sterile technique. I'm the bulldog when it comes to sterile technique in an OR.
Good.
And then to be the one who's contaminating everything because I can't see, I've lost my place in the OR. So I'm thinking I need a work from home job because I can't drive at night either. So, because the radiation has caused me to have cataracts in both eyes. My blind eye has been replaced. I've got a little bit of peripheral vision, but not enough to be confident. And then I'm afraid to get my other cataract fixed. So,
Oh, really? What's it?
yeah.
Okay, so not to get too detaily, but my mother-in-law has to get cataract surgery too, and they finally have found a facility that can deal with it because, well, not the surgery itself, but she needs to have a Hoyer lift wherever they're
Oh,
doing
yeah.
this,
Mm-hmm.
and that having a mobility that you cannot get up onto a table is virtually impossible to find facilities or people who can understand. Like, no, immobile. Like, yeah, I don't know why.
I think they've just moved. See, cataract surgery is an in and out surgery. So they've all been moved to outpatient surgical facilities because it's a hell of a lot cheaper to run that. So it's probably just getting in the equipment to a regular OR, which we used to do, where they can transport her normally and move her normally with 4 people. So she wouldn't need a Hoyer. I mean, but to get to the to the pre-op bed. If she needs help there, that's probably, yeah, she needs to be done in a hospital, and a lot of hospitals don't do cataracts. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
I've
Angela says
done,
I need 2 knee replacements.
yeah,
Would you do 2 at the
sorry for
same
you.
time?
No, no, you can't, because they can't rehab.
Ah, that makes sense. You know.
Hi, Dawn. Oh, hi, Dawn.
Did you see Dawn's video with her coach unboxing?
It's up in the, it's my next video to watch up in the corner.
Well, then spoilers, if you haven't seen Dawn's video on her coach, I don't know how she found this bag that had never had the tags attached, not just in the pocket, but attached from like 1996. And it's an
Cool.
aqua. Coach aqua is a
What?
rare color. I'm like,
Yeah.
girl, where did you?
Yeah,
I
I
want
saw
the
the title
contact.
and I'm like, okay, I want to see that one. And then I went in your live instead of watching Dawn. Sorry, Dawn. But it's my next one on my list. You know how they all come up and you're like, oh, watch that one. That one looks good.
I get so many notifications. I follow so many people. I've actually had to go through and say, not interested, not interested, not interested on things I don't follow because it gets lost. My notifications
Yeah.
come through and then I can't find them again. Like I know I got a notification for a video. Who was which video was that? And I can't find it. Like YouTube, you're not helping me.
Yeah. And I started unsubscribing from a lot of people that I don't.
Well,
I just don't care anymore.
people. I block people, block channels, I've hidden my channel from other people. I don't play nice anymore. I'm over that life. I'm like, I don't need, if you don't want to be my friend, we don't have to be friends. And
That's
that's
true.
fine. Don't
Absolutely.
interact. That's great. You know, 2 subscribers gone is not going to hurt my feelings. People
No, not
being
if they're only
mean
there to aggravate. Yeah.
hurts my feelings. You know. It was
Yes,
interesting 'cause I said that in Jacob's live, and Jacob says he never blocks anybody. I'm like, you should. It's like I think I block people like on the daily on Instagram. It's like because then it's all the promotionals, you know. And then sometimes it's just like if you get a mean comment. I mean, I don't actually get that many. My channel's too tiny, but I've seen other comments in other places that are kind of like, would you really say that to that person in person?
no,
It's like, no. And if you
no.
won't do that out loud, don't type it. You know?
Yeah. I would uh if I'm typing it, I'd say it to your face.
Yeah.
Yeah, same with me, Craig. I've unsubbed because I'm just not interested in their content anymore. Yeah, that's true.
People change. And you know, that's fine. It's not gonna hurt my feelings. If my lives or my videos are not for you, that's okay. I'm still making them. I make them because I enjoy making them. I have fun doing it or I wouldn't be doing it. Um Dawn, probably the reasons why you don't have notifications for my videos is because they go out every single day at 6 a.m. The algorithm is probably
You're
tired of just telling you.
you're asleep or getting ready for work at that time. So, how do you like my planning video?
Well,
It's just a
fun
it's just a
chatting.
place. It's just yes, it's just a place to hang out and chat.
Well, I did plan, guys. I did
I'm
plan.
playing.
While we were sitting here, I wrote up. So I did I'm listing all the videos I have for July, and I wrote them all in because I uploaded them last night. And so I do know that I have way too many unboxing videos, and I need to do more collection videos, and I need to do more tag videos, like what are my
Yeah.
thoughts, you know. But this year has been the highest buy year I have ever had. I don't even want to. If you're looking at this and you're seeing this, is this like a new bag in every video. I have
Yeah,
hundreds on there. You know?
you're so lazy about making videos, though. Look at that.
Yeah. I'm what?
You're so lazy about making videos. These are all the ones that are done for July.
Well, I have friends who say I need a video every day. And I'm like, and not just
Wow.
one
No, I'm not
person.
doing that.
It's not just one person. Many people have said this, that they start their morning with me. So I feel like, okay, well, it's for me, because I don't edit because, okay, so those who don't do YouTube, editing, you can get into the rabbit hole of editing and you can edit yourself to death because it's never perfect. And it's fun to sit and splice and do things and add music and sound effects and put up pop-ups, and it can be very fun. Next thing you know, your 10-minute video took you 5 hours. You
Now,
edited it down.
I give myself a time limit if I'm going to do a creative video, like my last video where I'm talking to myself. If I'm going to do a creative video, I give myself a time limit of 2 hours to edit it. And then whatever it looks like at the end of 2 hours, that's it. I'm done. I don't sit and play around with it. My next video is also going to need editing because of what I'm doing. I just came up with this concept, and I can tell you I've already made the props. This is actually a pill bottle, but it's one of the props. I'm not going to show you the other side, but when you see it, you'll understand. It's just for the opening of my video. I like the creative part, so I have to edit.
Well, I mean, that's the point. That's why you got involved in doing this, right? You did this
Yeah.
because this is the fun part for you. So do what you like. For
Uh-huh.
me, I just like talking. The editing is painful, so I don't even try. I'm like, I'm done. I'm good. I'm not doing that. So when you see my 10-minute video, it's my 10-minute video. I didn't do
Right.
anything to it, but there's a loading processing, a compression processing, and then there's a upload, download. There's a lot of stuff technology wise. It's just time eats up time.
It does. Trying to learn to do new things is fun. And like on my last video, the front part of it had to be edited because I was talking to myself. Obviously, I couldn't do that and have it come out. But if you notice, I don't think the rest of the video has any breaks. Not really. Oh, I took where I had misplaced one of the straps I wanted to talk about, and it was in the closet. But I cut that part out and moved it to the end and made it in black and white just to get rid of that portion. But that's all I did. Like, I'm not editing every other word. There's some people, when you watch them, they look like robots because they're cutting out sentences. So it's like, it's like you can tell they've like cut out so much. It's kind of funny, but
once you start noticing that, you can't unnotice it. You will always notice it again after that. And then if you do any kind of, like when I first started YouTube, I had like no idea. Like all the equipment I had was my husband's because he streamed on Twitch. I'm using his microphone, his webcam, his computer, and he was just like, well, if this works out, we'll get your own stuff. He never, ever thought this would be a thing. He never thought stick to it. He never thought I'd have subscribers. He did not know. He's still thrilled that it's happening because this just means I'm not talking to him about bags. He doesn't care.
It's a fun little niche. It is. And I have gone through evolution, when I stopped doing it altogether when I got diagnosed. In fact, I think since this is a planner video, I'll show you one of my planners. This is my planner. Used to be my everyday carry. Craig, you can relate. I know that you carry an MM and a GM. This was my MM that I got straight from Louis. Has my initials in it. But this is the planner that I was in when I got diagnosed.
Oh.
And so all of that stuff is still written in here. And I just haven't been able to use this planner since.
How long did it take for you to get diagnosed? Because this is not like cut and dry.
I'll tell you, the ocular melanoma is very rare. It's like 1 in a million, maybe 2 in a million. Get it? And I can tell you that I've only ever known one person in real life who had this, who passed from it. And he was an orthopedic surgeon. If that, and that
Ouch.
kind of makes me wonder, because I scrubbed orthopedics the most. I loved total joints, total hips, love that stuff. But that also meant that there was a lot of fluoroscopy in the operating room, and we didn't wear anything to protect our eyes. So I don't know. I don't know. And then, okay, so how it happened was I was working in outpatient surgery, and I started noticing that I there was like a blind spot forming, like in my left eye vision right here. Like the lights up here were warping, and it wasn't quite right. And of course, being a nurse, well, maybe it'll go away, which is really dumb, but that's just how we are. So I let it go a couple weeks, and I'm like, this is not getting better. I better run to the optometrist. At least they can look in the back of my eye. So, and I went for yearly visits and stuff, so I wasn't that worried about it. But what I was worried about was maybe I've got, bleeding in my eye and my retina's detaching. So I went to the ophthalmologist at the mall, and she looked in my eye, and then she re-upped my prescription, and then she sent me out to go look for glasses. And then she went and told the front desk, don't let her leave. And so somebody came out and said, the optometrist would like to talk to you again, and she doesn't want you to leave. She wants you to stay here. I said, okay. They said when she's free, she's gonna take you in the back again. I said, okay. As a person who works in medicine, I was like, shit, okay, something's bad, because otherwise she would just come out and tell me. So, and I had never, I've heard of ocular melanoma, but I, never seen it before. I've only known somebody who had it, but wasn't quite sure what kind they had or anything like that. Didn't know a lot about it. And even though I worked in an eye clinic doing retinal surgeries for 2 years, I had never seen it before. That's how rare it is. So, she calls me back in her office, and she goes, I need you to go see an ophthalmologist tomorrow. She said, there's a freckle in your eye, but we just you need to have that freckle checked, because I'm afraid that it's detaching your retina. Okay, so now I'm under the assumption, okay, detached retina. Okay, I'm having a detached retina. All right. So I go to the ophthalmologist the next day, and it's COVID times, and we're all wearing masks. So my husband can't come in with me because it's new. It's all new, and nobody knows how bad this virus is going to be. So I'm in there by myself, and they did these scans on my eye, and I've seen a lot of scans in my career. I've been in the operating room for 30 years. I've seen scans. I know what scans look like. And this was a new thing called, I can't remember the name of the machine, but it was a new one that I had never been next to before. And it really scans the back of your eye. You can really see. And they put those scans up on and left me alone in a room. And I'm looking, and I'm like, oh my God. I could see the vascularization go into it. I could see, I was like, that's some sort of cancer, clearly. What is that? And so one of the nurses comes in, and I'm standing there looking at it, and he goes, what? I said, that's not good with that. He goes, do you know what you're looking at? I said, I'm looking at a vascularized spot in my eye. That's yeah, that's not good. So once again, now they want to do another scan. They're not telling me anything yet. Now they want to do another scan, and they put radio-peg dye in my and they do another scan, and the thing just lights up. And so then they put those scans up. They do this with patients, so they don't realize that some patients can. So they put the new scans up, and now I'm in a little itty bitty room, and the new scans are up on the computer, and I'm like, oh my God. So the it's the doctor comes in, and it doesn't matter. I was going to try to explain the difference, but it doesn't matter. So the doctor comes in, and the first thing she says is, "Do you have anybody with you?" So I was like, "Yeah." So I texted my husband. I said, "Come now." That's all I had to say. And he came in, and then she went into, "We're going to have you drive to Miami to an ocular melanoma specialist." And she's an ophthalmologist, so not all ophthalmologists are the same. And there are very few ocular melanoma specialists throughout the country. And then, because it's ocular melanoma, there are 3 classes. There's 1A, 1B, and class 2. Class 2 being the fastest moving and the deadliest. And it likes to travel to your liver and your lungs. And most people don't make it 5 years. And so I went to Miami, and I went to the ocular oncologist there the following week. I mean, everything was just boom, boom, boom. And he scheduled me for surgery. So I was down there for surgery, where they put a radiopeg plaque on the back of your eye. So they kind of spin your eye around to where the tumor is inside, on the dark layer of your eye underneath the sclera, which is the white part of your eye. Under that layer is a dark part. It's black. And that's where the melanoma forms. And so they put a radiation plaque on the back, and I had to keep it in there for 4 days. It was kind of like having a razor blade in your eye for 4 days. So I just listened to books, because whenever I moved my eyes, oh my God, the pain. And the toilet paper was over here on my left, which was the worst part, because and then after the first time of accidentally moving my eyes to look for it, I was like, I learned to do this. But so I lay there for 4 days, and then it came up. But during that time, he took some cell samples to send it off to find out which class I was. And here's another time. So I go back to Miami, and I'm going to get the results, right? Go back to Miami, get put in a room. And again, you can't have anybody with you. It's plague times. And so I'm in the room, and in pops a tech or a nurse or somebody who was just bringing the paperwork that, needed to be, given to the doctor for the next patient, throws it on the desk that has my scans up in the room. It slides across the desk. I'm in there alone. I read it. Class 2. So once again, I text my husband, "Well, it's the worst. Come in." So then class 2, the worst. So I knew before the doctor came in to tell me that it was class 2. So the next step wasn't any more with my eye at that point. It was, you need to get to somebody who specializes in this right away. So they sent me to Dr. Takashi Sato in Philadelphia, who specializes in ocular melanoma. And they put me on a year of preventative chemo to try to save my life. And that's what happened.
Wow.
And all the people that I have met who had this, that I met in Miami, are now all passed. And so far, at least most people don't make it to 5 years. At the end of this year, it'll be 5 years. So I'm one of the lucky ones. Very, very, very lucky. And that's only because of what happened, because of the treatments that I did. And I went to Philadelphia and did all the stuff. And he also said, Dr. Sato also said, "Oh, you have a better chance because you're young too." Because most people that end up with this, it doesn't happen until they're much older. So anyway, that's the story.
Wow.
And that's also why I quit doing YouTube. I was a little bummed for a while.
Oh, yeah. That's a life change. Everything's a life change at that point. You're just trying to live at this point.
Yeah. They're just trying to live.
Mm-hmm. That is a lot.
So my attitude about everything changed. I mean, I have old videos on here. I think that Autumn and me started at the same time. I was making commission from Fashion File, and I was working full-time as a nurse. But when this happened, that all changed. And now Fashion File doesn't even have reps anymore. They don't need them. So and I don't care about it anymore. Your priorities change when you get slapped in the face. You know that, Jackie.
Oh yeah, totally.
Priorities change.
My whole outlook in life changed. And that's one of the things I've noticed being on YouTube. I've met so many people with long-term illnesses that they'll talk to me and they'll email me and we'll have conversations. And because again, I'm on YouTube every day. You're with me every day. People watch my videos, people watch my lives. They know about my car accident. So they'll tell me about their life and I'll sit there and talk to them. I have met so many people. And that's what I'm saying. Like one of the people that she posted this publicly, so I'll say it, but she says, every morning I put my husband's medication out and when I'm getting ready for the morning and the day, and I listen to your live or your videos every day because you just keep me company. And I'm like, oh, yeah, we're not gonna. I need to keep doing this because she said how important. I mean, because that's just part of her daily life. Her daily life is she's taking care of somebody who is on a lot of medication. And I remember my grandmother did this for my grandfather. So my grandfather had a lot of medical issues, and he ended up passing from dementia, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, all of the trifecta there, and he was on tons of meds. And I remember seeing my grandmother, they're retired at this point, had been for years. Every morning, that's what she did was put out John M's medication and just helped him throughout his life and end of times, all of it. And then a lot of people I talk to who are on YouTube are in the same boat. They're isolated in some way where they can't get out, can't socialize, don't have friends, or they had friends, but they're involved with a situation like you can't leave your home because you have somebody who has to be taken care of 24/7. So it just made me stay here longer and do more because I have a friend who she was for a very long time in medical health care. She was not a nurse, she was a home sitter.
Yeah.
So she nursed her mom through MS, and after her passing, she just continued that line of work because that's what she'd been doing, unpaid for her mom for like 10 years, was dealing with her mother's MS, was that she just went and became a paid companion working with the people who need assistance. And we talk about it all the time. And she said, it's she doesn't do that anymore because it's emotionally difficult. You're always going to be losing people you've spent a lot of time with.
Yeah.
So it keeps me going with YouTube. It keeps me, because I wanted to quit like 1,000 times, by the way.
Yeah. I put myself on a schedule just to do it. Dawn, Jefferson Memorial is where it was. Ivy, I'm sorry to hear about your vision. Craig, same. It's terrible when you lose vision or hearing, I think. But I don't know which cuts you off more, vision or hearing. But both, it's terrible. We should really get off here. Number one reason, it's going to take forever for my computer to render this.
Okay, let's go.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for coming. And thank you for sharing, Ivy. And Dawn, I know you live with RA. That's we talked about that in one of my chats the other day because it's an autoimmune disorder that's difficult to deal with. And let's see, did I miss anything else? I was trying to keep up, but I know I did not. All right. So we mixed bag talk with that, but at least now maybe you guys understand my story and why I just don't.
You're going to Miami?
I just don't give a shit anymore. I just don't give a shit. I don't embarrass myself. I don't care. Yeah.
Okay. Bye. I'm gonna get out.
All right. Bye, Jackie. Bye, everybody.